Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, learners. My name is Margaret Mutsiari, the subject advisor for natural science in Fezile. And today, this is our first lesson for natural science for grade 8. And then our topic is photosynthesis and respiration. We are going to start to explain what is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process where plants make their own food or glucose using radiant energy from the sun. The word photo, it means light. And the word synthesize is to make. So that's why we are saying plants make their own food. All living organisms need energy to carry out life processes such as growth, movement, and reproduction. Learners, if we can remember, we started with the life processes, all 7 of them in grade 4. And then now we are just reminding you of those 7 life processes. And then the sun is the main source of energy. It means all the energy that plants use and animals, it comes from the sun. Plants use this energy to make their own food in the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis takes place only in green plants. It means animals cannot photosynthesize. And then let's look at the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis takes the sun energy, which is radiant energy, and store it in the food that the plant makes. A green pigment that is found on the leaves of the plants, it means it is chlorophyll. It means when you see a plant or a green plant, know that that green pigment, it is called chlorophyll. And then plants can combine carbon dioxide and water with the sun energy and manufacture their own food, which is in the form of glucose. Carbon dioxide is taken in through the leaves. Chlorophyll combines it with water to make food, which is glucose or sugar. And then the water, it is dissolved with the mineral salts. Remember that each and every plant has the roots. It means a plant absorbed water from the soil using the roots. And then this water, it is dissolved with mineral salts. And then after the roots have absorbed the mineral salts and the water, and then all those, they are transported to the leaves where the process of photosynthesis takes place. Food in the form of glucose or sugar is the main product of photosynthesis. It means the main product, something that is produced during the process of photosynthesis, it is glucose or food. Oxygen is a product of photosynthesis and it is released into the air. And let's look at the process of photosynthesis. So we have this process of photosynthesis where we have that beautiful sunflower, and then it has the leaves, and then it has the leaves that are green. It means these leaves are green because now they contain chlorophyll, and then there is that beautiful flower there. And then we said that a plant, in order to photosynthesize, it needs sunlight. So where does the plant get sunlight? It gets sunlight from the sun. And then a plant also, in order for the process of photosynthesis to take place, it needs carbon dioxide. Where does the plant get this carbon dioxide? From the atmosphere. And then also, for the process of photosynthesis to be complete, and then water is also needed. Where does the plant get this water? It gets the water from the soil. So the roots, as you can see here, they are the ones that absorbed this water from the soil together with the mineral soils, and then they go up to the leaves where the process of photosynthesis can take place. And then this plant can now make a food in the form of sugar or in the form of a glucose. And then during this process of photosynthesis, oxygen is now released into the atmosphere. So that is the process of photosynthesis. And then let's go to the next slide. And then in the next slide, we have the equation for the process of photosynthesis. So it means when you talk about the equation for the process of photosynthesis, we are talking about the things that are needed in order for the process of photosynthesis to take place. And then in the middle here, we have this red mark here. And then it means whatever that is after this, it is the product. Hence, we are saying that this is an equation. It means it will be something plus something to form something. Then we talk about a word equation. So this is a word equation because it is written in words. And then it means we need carbon dioxide plus water, and then together with sunlight and chlorophyll. And then we are going to get glucose and oxygen. Remember, we said that in order for the process of photosynthesis to take place, we need carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll, and sunlight. It means these are the requirements for photosynthesis. And then during that process of photosynthesis, and then it means the product, it is glucose, which is the food or which is a sugar, and then plus oxygen, which is released into the atmosphere. And then let's look at the requirements for photosynthesis. And then the requirements for photosynthesis, we have radiant energy. That radiant energy, you can also say it is sunlight. And then we have carbon dioxide, and then that we get from the atmosphere. And then we have water that we get from the soil, and then we have chlorophyll that is found in the leaves. I said that chlorophyll is the green pigment that is found inside the leaves. It is the one that makes the leaves to be green. And then we have the products of photosynthesis, which is oxygen. And then this oxygen is released into the atmosphere. Hence, we say it is a byproduct. It means during the process of photosynthesis, yes, oxygen is produced, but oxygen is not used. That's why we are saying it is a byproduct. And then the other product is glucose in the form of food. It is the main product of photosynthesis. This glucose is changed into starch and cellulose. So during photosynthesis, glucose, it is the main product. It means it is produced, but it is changed to be in the form of starch and glucose. So during photosynthesis, this glucose is stored as starch in the plant. And then cellulose is the one that strengthens and supports the plant. In order for the plant to be strong and to stand upright, it means it because of the cellulose. And then let's look at respiration. We are going to define it. It is the process during which cells use oxygen to break down glucose and release energy. Remember, in the process of photosynthesis, we release oxygen, but in the process of respiration, we are now releasing energy. And then glucose is broken down. This energy is used to bring about growth of the body, keep the body temperature constant, enable movement of the skeleton, digest food that is taken into the body, and remove waste material from the body. So it means the energy that we get, it helps us to grow. It keeps the body temperature constant. It means at a normal temperature, which is 37 degrees Celsius. Enable movement of the skeleton. It means you can be able to move your arms, you move your legs, and so on. And digest food that is taken into the body and remove waste material from the body. Everything that is not needed by the body, it is taken out as a waste material. And then carbon dioxide and water are also released during this process. So that is the process of respiration. And then let's look at the requirements and the product of respiration. The requirements during the process of respiration, and then glucose is required, oxygen is also required. Those are the two things that are needed. And then glucose is a type of sugar found in food that we eat. It is the main source of energy in both plants and animals. It means both plant and animals, they need energy in order to perform their different duties. And then oxygen, the gas that is taken in by animals through the lungs. Remember, plants release oxygen. And then we, as the animals, we take in that oxygen through our lungs, the skin, and if it is a fish, and then it is the gills. And then let's look at the product of respiration. We have energy, carbon dioxide, and water. Energy, which is the main product of respiration used by both plants and animal for life processes. We have already explained those life processes. For example, it is growth, excretion, reproduction, etc. There are seven life processes. So I just mentioned three of them. And then carbon dioxide released by animals through the lungs, the skin, and the gills. And then we have water. Animals release water in the form of urine. So if you go to the toilet and urinate, it means you are taking out water. Or if you are sweating, that sweat, it has water. Or water vapor during breathing. When you breathe, there is that water vapor that is coming out. And then if you cool it, that water vapor, and then it becomes water. And then let's look at the difference between photosynthesis and respiration. Photosynthesis takes place in green plants only, whereas respiration takes place in all living organisms. And then photosynthesis is an energy storing process. Energy is stored as food or starch. And then respiration is an energy releasing process. Energy is released when food or glucose is broken down. And then let's look at photosynthesis. It requires carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, and chlorophyll in order for photosynthesis to happen. And then respiration, it requires oxygen from the air and glucose, only those two. Whereas photosynthesis need four things in order for it to take place. And then during photosynthesis, the byproduct is oxygen. And then during respiration, the byproduct is carbon dioxide and water. And then during photosynthesis, light is necessary in order for this process of photosynthesis to take place. And then respiration is not dependent on light. It means it does not need light in order for the process to take place. And let's look at this small summary that I have made here. I have made two cycles, the one for photosynthesis and then the one for cellular respiration. And then during photosynthesis, I'm just going to repeat everything that I've just said, but in a different manner. And then it means during photosynthesis needs carbon dioxide to happen. It means if there is no carbon dioxide, or there's no water, there's no sunlight, there's no chlorophyll, it means the process of photosynthesis cannot happen. It means in winter, when the plants have lost their leaves, it means that plants, we cannot say that plant is photosynthesizing. The reason why we cannot say that that plant is photosynthesizing, because that plant does not have chlorophyll, and then that plant does not have leaves. Remember that we said that photosynthesis takes place inside the leaves. That is where the process happens. It occurs in plant cells only. It means photosynthesis cannot happen in animals. It only happens in plants. And then it is dependent of light. It means there must be light in order for the process to take place. And then it takes place in daytime only when there is light. At night, the process of photosynthesis is not happening. It stops because there is no sunlight. And then let's look at cellular respiration. It needs oxygen to happen, occurs in both animal and plant cells. It means not only in plant cells or not only in animal cells, in both, but photosynthesis only in plant cell. It is independent of light. It means it does not need light. Takes place all the time, whether it is during the day or during the night. Every time the process of cellular respiration is happening. And then let's look at this things around here in the middle. Cellular respiration uses the products of photosynthesis, and photosynthesis uses the product of cellular respiration, as it stated, as its starting point. So it means whatever that is released during the process of photosynthesis, it is used during the process of cellular respiration. And folks, I have come to the end of my lesson. And then here is a QR code that you can take out your tablets or your cell phones. And then here is a link below. And then just take your phone and then scan this QR code so that you can find some nice questions about photosynthesis and respiration that are going to increase your knowledge much better, so that you can evaluate yourself whether you did grasp all the concepts that I was talking about today. And thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you.